feet. She'd like to be more a part of what's going on up here, but oh, get off here. There's your little one. There's your little one. You wanna hop down? You wanna hop down? You stay with me. See, she's the type of cat. She's like a lot of people. She won't really admit that she likes this stuff. She won't. No, she won't ask for it. You just gotta come over and scoop her up and grab her up and just say, "Yup, you're mine. You're mine." That's why I call her scoopers and keepers, because I scooped her up and I'm keeping her. She's the reason I'm still in this apartment. I was gonna get like an RV or something, you know. I'm still thinking of doing that, but like I was actually considering just getting a really nice tent and living off the grid and saving money, just saving all my money, and living off the grid. But I didn't know what I would do with my cat. So I just continue to pay rent. Howdy ho. Welcome into my crack dungeon. Howdy ho. I used to love South Park. When I was young, we used to get together and go over to my friend Clay's house every Wednesday and watch South Park. We'd get stoned and sit there and just, I mean, I remember when I first saw, the first episode of South Park I saw was Starvin' Marvin episode. And I'd seen Beavis and Butthead before, so I had seen kind of crass cartoon comedy. But South Park was the originators of that, huh? I grew out of it, that's for sure. I mean, it happens, right? You grow out of everything. You know, some people who love candy when they were kids just can't really tolerate sweets now. Like myself, I don't like them. Even if I could eat them, I wouldn't eat them. Sometimes, every once in a while, and it's because I know I have to have some kind of sugar intake, right? You can't just not have anything sweet. So, I start hitting the J, and with the commencement of hitting the J, I start wondering, where the fuck is my brain gonna go? We don't even know where our brains are going. Is it the fluoride? Fluoride's all built up in our fucking pituitary gland. Yeah, I wanted to really quickly address a couple things. The subscriber count, it went up there to 100, which is where I wanted it to get. And you know what? I don't even give a shit past that. But I did promise two prizes, one of which I mailed, the other of which I don't have an address for. G Motana, Instagram, Animalistic6. Just talk to me. If you don't want the bongos, but you said you wanted the bongos, so if you want the bongos, you got to give me some kind of a place to send it to. I don't give a crap. You know, have me send it to like a PO box. Have me send it to a monastery, and then you can have some monks look it over and pray over it. Do whatever you need. I can send it to a dark forest. I can have Amazon bring it to you via drone footage. I don't know. Is that what they do now? They send it to you via drone footage. It's like I think if a drone. See, I was gonna send my my mom some apple bottom jeans and boots with the fur for Christmas, uh, and I was gonna use the drone, but I was worried because they have guns. I'm thinking like they probably would shoot a drone. They'll see it coming from a mile away. Number one, my family's house is like way back in a tiny. It's like a tiny little house in a field. It's like big, huge field, tiny, tiny little house. You got to drive like all the way across the fucking world to get to it. It's like flat Earth trying to get to my parents' house, but it's not flat at all. By the way, and there's fucking cows and shit everywhere. But but yeah, just give me something. Give me something to work with. I need, how am I supposed to send you anything? How am I supposed to do anything if nobody's giving me anything to work with? Which, by the way, go down there, hit the buttons, hit like, hit subscribe, because even if you don't watch the rest of the video, just do it. As a matter of fact, you should have notifications on just to click like. You know what I mean? You don't even have to fucking watch me. I prefer if you don't watch me because I am a statistical mess. I fit every statistic. I'm a borderline person. So, anyway, that brings me right into our topic. Borderline people, statistical messes. The Capitol got stormed. The Senate got stormed. Whatever the fucking place was. And a person got shot. A woman got shot. And R.I.P. Mrs. Babi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Because, I mean, why would you... Is it Babbitt like Charlie Babbitt? Like, Babbitt like... Slow in the driveway? Charlie Babbitt? Or is it like French? Well, actually, I think she served in the military, so I doubt she would want to pronounce her name French, right? Like, Babi. But whatever. Got shot and died, peeking her head through that window that they broke. I think we all know that there's a couple different narratives going on. One is white America gathered in force. Every single one of us showed up to the Senate and tried to hang all of the people there. That's not true. The other narrative is Antifa caused this whole thing. That's not true either. Although I'm not going to... Listen, some Republicans are not Republicans. Some Republicans are not conservatives. Conservatives, like, I don't really consider myself a Republican at all, really. Especially watching all this bullshit. And if I wasn't conservative, if I was liberal, I wouldn't consider myself a Democrat. You know why? Because that's just a place for them to put you. That's a means of control. If you push Democrat or you push Republican, you are fighting their battles. You're fighting their war. And you're being controlled. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, can you please do some research into pandemics being used to control the world? Here's the thing. You're going to have to look really hard because a few years ago, it was kind of common knowledge. There was all these things out there, like, listen, we got Kissinger on our tail, guys. These people are going to take away every single thing, all based on this right versus left. They knew, man, that pandemic is one of the perfect things. The pandemic is inconsequential, really, compared to their right versus left battle. There's no war going on. When Senate happened, when the Senate siege took place, all the senators went to the same place. All right? Now here's my views on storming the Capitol, storming the Senate. Here's my views on that. I don't give a fuck. If it's okay to do it on either side, then it's okay for both. I think nobody should be breaking things at all. And no conservative thinks it's okay to go smash up the Senate. In order to find footage, though, of conservatives behaving properly, you're going to have to go search Fox News. You have to search it. Because if you type in what happened at the Senate on Google, you're not going to get Fox. Now I don't care. I'm not saying you have to listen to Fox News and they're the truth. But what I'm saying is that you have to listen to both sides. You have to look at all this. You have to look at all the facts. You have to look at all the conjecture, and you have to be able to use your common sense. Now, the only way to do that is look at, as far as far separate entities are concerned, look at CNN and then look at Fox. And then all the things in the middle, as they range from here to there. But my point is, if you want to look at Fox News, though, you have to actively search it. You have to type in Fox News coverage of the Senate takeover. And then what you'll find is just cameras. That's it. They just point the camera and they leave the audio running so you can hear every little thing that's going on. Now, there are definitely some supposedly right-leaning news sources that are also following the narrative that this was a terrorist attack, this was an insurrection. It was not an insurrection. Nobody was told to break into the Senate. Nobody. The people that broke into the Senate were those wild, fucking crazy people that we saw out at the BLM riots, that we saw at the George Floyd riots. When we look at the riots around the nation and we see there's a certain group, there's a certain class of thug that I don't know if they're on the left or the right. I think they're just hired by both sides. Imagine an organization of people who are not Democrat or Republican, but who can be paid to be either. And they're crazy. They're crazy. So the guys up at top, they're going to sit there and try to get you to believe there's a war. That's not there. It's not a war. It's not. We're not fighting. I got friends in all places. Matter of fact, I can't even use the term, I have a black friend, so therefore I'm not racist. I have to say, I'm not racist because I have a white friend. I have to convince the world that I don't hate white people, and that's why I only hang out with people of color. It's not true. I have a white friend. I have a white friend. I'm not racist at all. Everybody's fucking prejudiced, racist, crazy, and insane. Everybody. Everybody. And the ones who claim they're not, and the ones who get outraged the most, are the most racist. They're the most crazy and the most insane. If you hear a word that triggers you, you're a racist. You're crazy, and you're insane. Because those things don't trigger me. None of that triggers me. I don't notice a person for their skin color. Like, for me to notice that a minority person has been offended by a word spoken by another minority, because everybody's a fucking minority now. There is no pure race of people, but I would have to be actively engaged, and I'd have to be looking at them and judging them based on their skin. I'd have to be like, hey, he's obviously going to be offended because he's, this color, or he's got this wardrobe on, his religion. Obviously, he's going to be offended because I don't know him. He might not be offended. He definitely might not give a shit. He may be self-loathing and actually agree. Like, yeah, my people suck. Whatever the case is, I don't, I like seeing fucking crazy drama and clashing. So you're not gonna see me sitting here trying to defend anybody, except for the ones who can't defend themselves. And I tell you something that's just unbelievable right now. It is a person like the President of the United States cannot defend himself. Like, there's nothing that Donald Trump is going to be able to do to defeat this. And what happened was textbook. We all saw it. The pandemic happened, which caused voters to have to mail in, which caused a fucking 13th hour boost in Biden votes in the middle of the night. Should never be allowed, but everybody wants it. Why? Because the thing that Donald Trump stands for, and the thing that conservatism stands for, is making sure that everybody is safe and that the future is safe. Now, there's a lot of pitfalls. Like, you got to stop greedy organizations from taking advantage. You got to do that. But you can't take down everything. If you take down everything and you start putting people in that don't know what the fuck they're doing, goodbye, America. Joe Biden will sell us to China. Because nobody here is going to know what the fuck to do. Nobody here is going to know what the fuck to do because we're all just dumbed down versions of what we once were. And then even the smartest of us, the academics, the spokespeople of the rights and things that we actually care about, they're all being attacked personally on social media, so they can't focus on their main topics anymore. Maybe you like Rachel Maddow. Well, guess what? Rachel Maddow she can't really focus on her career because everybody's just attacking her on social media. We've Tucker Carlson. I can't even say his name. Tucker Carlson. Okay, that guy. Love him or hate him, I've seen more about him and his family being attacked than anything. I've seen more smear shit online than I've actually heard any of the data these people have created. What are we doing in this world? We're destroying each other. We're making each other happy to go. It's like if I saw the ship that led to the ever after, I would get on it. Elon, that's where we're at now. There are definitely people on this planet who would be happy to get the fuck off of it and go to Mars. Send me to Mars, baby. I want to go there and I want to be one of the first people on Mars. Send me. As a test. What happens if you send a layman to Mars? Can he figure out how to work the machinery? Can he send me? I'll go. I will go. Because if not, I'm just going to spend the rest of my life trying to build a spaceship, a party ship. And then I'm going to blast myself into space. And I'm going to party on that ship until all the life support just gives out. Or the ship gets obliterated by meteors or space aliens come and open the ship up like a can of cold ravioli and just dump me out into their mouth without even microwaving that shit. You guys were being race baited. We're being race baited, man. And I mean, if you really started thinking about things in terms of aliens, then you really start getting a grasp on what it is that I guess conservatives, quote unquote, feel. Now, being an outside observer, I would only be drawn in if I saw an infant, if I saw a tiny bit of life somewhere, a squirming little worm on the ground. Okay? If I see it, I have to help. I can't allow. I'll step in as much as I can. Right? If I see a little worm on the sidewalk who's going to dry up in the sun, I pick it up and I put it on the grass. So maybe it can dig down into the dirt. I give it a better chance. If I would do that, why would I not do that for a sperm? You know? I feel bad when I sperm, and throw it away. Do you think aliens are looking down at us saying, "Good Lord! Scott, get over here!" "Yes, Travis?" They're killing the eggs." "What?" "They are torturing and burning their spawn." "What?" "No. No, yes, I'm telling you, look down there." "Well, where's their egg central?" "They don't have an egg central. The people carry the eggs inside of them until they're born." "What?" "Yeah, look, they go in the building and they come out baby free." Well, perhaps let's go down there and check. Then the aliens come down and start checking on us, and they find out that sure enough, we kill our young. We just while they're sitting here like, dang man, we need to build as many of us as possible. We're like, let's get rid of us. We're a suicidal world, aren't we? This is suicidal. We're a suicidal species now.